So I think it's important that everyone should have like a schedule, like something that you do every single day. Your day shouldn't be like one of those days where you're just going through it and you're trying to respond to things like think people are throwing questions and problems and whatever else at you. I think it's very, very important to have a structure. And I know it's hard to have a structured day, but there should be certain things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So no matter if it's through Sunday, these specific things are always getting done. So what I wanted to share with you, and I'm making this video for one particular person who reached out to me and he asked me, like, Cal, what do you do on an everyday basis? Like, how do you maintain um, let's say a relatively stable life. I would never define my life as stable, but I understand where he's coming from, because in the past I did have a really haphazard day where I would just wake up and whatever my friends wanted to do, then that's what I did. If I met a stranger on the street and they wanted to do something, then that's what I did. And what happens there is I gave the power of my life to someone else. So it's very, very important that you take the power back in your life with just simple habits that you do every single day. So right now I'm going to share with you 10 things. Actually, I got 8 things. I got 8 things that I do every single day, no matter what. So the first thing I do, I have my notes here if you're wondering why I'm looking down. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I say affirmations. I say maybe I don't really time it. So I'm going to guess about 5 minutes of telling myself that today's going to be a great day. You could take on the world. You're very capable. I believe in you. I love you, Kelly. I'm very happy you're here. I'm happy that I woke up. I'm truly blessed. Let's make something out of this day. Tonight when we go to sleep, let's say that we took charge of the day. So I say things like that, things along those lines, just to get my brain on the right path. I read somewhere, I can't remember the exact book, but it said something along the lines of the first 20 minutes of your day dictate the rest of your day. So it's very important to me, and it should be important to you, to wake up in a positive attitude. And if you wake up and you had a miserable sleep, and it happens, you have a miserable sleep, change it right away. You get up and you're like, this is great. I woke up, I'm going to shower, I'm going to make some phone calls, I'm going to tell my wife I love her, I'm going to tell my husband I love him, I'm going to call my boyfriend, my friend. I'm going to do things that make me feel better so I can take back my day, forget last night's sleep. I'm going to take back my day and make sure that today is going to be very positive. So the first thing I do is I start off my day with affirmations. The second thing I do is I shower. I shower thoroughly. I'm guessing everyone else does. Showering in the morning for me is very important because I don't know. I do a sort of a ritual when I take my showers. So when I go into the bathroom, I strip naked, obviously, and I take a look at my body. I really do. I inspect my body. I look at for marks and strange cuts or maybe a mole or whatever. I'm getting up there in age, so I have to pay attention to what's going on so I can catch any, if my health's at risk. Maybe a discoloration in my skin could be a sign of something. So I do every morning. I give myself a thorough just a rundown or run over. I look at my nails to just make sure that there's no black streaks in it, which is a sign of low iron. Those are the things I do. So I say my affirmations, inspect my body, and then I shower. The third thing I do is, I don't even have to look at this. I cycle. So I ride my bike every morning. Right now I'm on the 30-day challenge. Usually I just ride my bike, but I decided to accept this challenge and give myself like a goal at the end of 30 days. And my goal is to ride up to 100 kilometers. That's my goal. So at the end of 30 days, I should wake up on day 30 and ride 100 kilometers, which is absolutely insane. I believe that I can do it. I know that I can do it as long as I stick to the script. I keep working out. I keep riding my bike. I keep pushing the distance every single day. And I'm part of a Facebook group called Extreme Ownership, and those guys are so supportive. So a lot of times when I'm riding out there. So this morning I was riding, and it started raining. And raining and riding does not go together. It's like mayonnaise and bacon. It does not go together. So I had a rough time. I had a rough time this morning, but you know what? I was happy that I finished. I felt my self-esteem just soared through the roof because I was pretty far from my house when it started raining, and I was like, oh my God, this sucks. My bones started aching, my clothes were soaked, my glasses started getting foggy. I had to watch out for cars driving by and not splashing me, but I made it and I got it through. And that small hump that I had to get over made me believe even more that at the end of 30 days, I'm going to do my 100 kilometer ride. The fourth thing I do is floss. I floss every single day. And for a long time, I didn't floss. I don't know why. I just brushed my teeth and, try to get in the back and get the molars and all that kind of things. But I started dating this woman way back when, and she would floss. She would floss at random times in the day, like random times in the day. It wasn't always in the morning. She would floss like watching TV, just sitting there and just flossing. And she had really immaculate teeth. They almost looked fake. They were bright white, really, really nice. Not like mine, so don't bother looking. Really nice, really bright white. And I was just like, good habits get you those teeth. So I started flossing, and honestly, it's like giving your mouth like a massage. It feels so good. Your gums will thank you for them. Your gums will be more healthier. You'll feel better. Yeah, and you believe it or not, food even tastes better. So flossing is another thing I do. I read a chapter of a book every day. Every day, a day does not go by that I read way more than a chapter, but a chapter is the absolute minimum. I have a bookshelf right here, which you guys can't see, and the books that I'm reading now is Tough-Minded Leadership. I'm reading that book, well, this book, and I'm also reading Moral Tribes. I don't know if you can see it there. Those are the two books I'm reading right now, and that's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. The reason why I do a summary is because I learned this in university, that a lot of times I would be reading really dense material, and I couldn't grasp it. Sometimes the language was old language from the early 1900s, or it was very technical jargon that I wasn't savvy on. So what I would do is I would read a chapter, try to summarize what I got from that chapter, and that way I can remember my own words. I can remember my own words from the chapter that I read or I learned from. And for me, it helped me out a lot in university because, for those who've been to college or university, you get bogged down with a lot of reading. When you reflect back on your years in your academic career, it was just a whole lot of reading, and it was very hard to just suck in all this information, especially with my classes where I had ethics, law, business and society. What else did I have? Sociology, psychology. So I had all these dense programs where it was just like, oh my God, how am I going to retain all this information? So it was very important for me to summarize everything into my own words. That way I can understand it and transfer it to someone else. Another thing I do is I listen to audios on topics that I want to be an expert on. So every day I listen to, I go on YouTube or I go on SoundCloud and I listen to an hour of, right now I'm in the business of finance, investment, anything to do with money. That's basically what I do. So I'm always listening to professors from Harvard, professors from Stanford, the lectures that they give. I'm always listening to that. Google Talks has really magnificent, smart, intelligent people coming to their headquarters and speaking to their audience. And you know what? It's 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 like a blessing. I remember when I was a kid, Harvard was just like this place that I would never see, and only this is what I thought, that I would never see it. Only important people go there, and you need money. You need a shitload of money to get to Harvard. And now I can just type on my laptop, and there, right in front of me, is a Harvard professor. I'm getting the information that these kids are getting out in Boston. So to me it's a big opportunity that you're missing out on if you're not dedicating at least an hour on a topic that you want to be an expert on, whether it be relationships, money, travel, the world, weather, kids. I took a course on, I think it's Coursera, but I take a lot of online courses. I can't remember the specific one, but I'm taking a course on babies, newborn babies, and how to inspect a newborn baby for future generational diseases, diseases that may be present at the time, and also signs of learning disabilities. So I took an amazing course on, I don't know if it's Coursera. If you're interested, just comment and I'll tell you the exact, the exact outlet that I'm learning from. But the information is in an abundance on the internet, and you really should take advantage of it. Number 7 is I email successful people and invite them for lunch. Some people think I'm crazy, but that is why I know a lot of successful people. I have a list. It's about maybe 200 names, maybe around the 200 mark, that I email people, usually about 3 people a day, and I invite them out for lunch to talk about whatever their business is at hand, the business that they're in currently, and see if I can be of any value. And if not, the conversations are always amazing, and not only about their industry, but the journey that they went through to get to that position, or just their life journey in general. Sometimes we get caught up with the end result, like this guy is the president of Royal Bank, and I want to talk to him about being the president of Royal Bank. Meanwhile, he and this is purely fabricated. I'm just giving you an example. Meanwhile, his brother can be an alcoholic, and his mother died of cancer, and all these kind of things grow you. They grow you as a person, whether, I don't wish malice on anyone or heartache on anyone, but at the same time, these things grow you. They grow you into a person, and grow you into a genuine person, and you start to realize that finance and money is not everything. It's not about what you do, but really who you are. And that's one of the benefits of having powerful conversations with people, understanding who they are rather than what they do. Oh, the final thing I do is I don't. I wrote it down because I didn't really want to start ranting, because I have a habit of just sticking on one subject and really trying to hammer it home. But I just wanted to make a quick video. The last thing I do is I check my stocks. All right, so I'm heavily invested in the stock market, which when people tell me they don't invest in the stock market, I really don't even have a response for that. The stock market has created more wealthy people than any other industry on planet Earth. It's literally like free money. You stick to the big boys. Let's say the big boys I call like McDonald's, Apple, now Amazon. Who else could you say? Coca-Cola, Dollarama. I saw that happening. I made a lot of money off Dollarama. I made a lot of money off Netflix too. You stick to these big boys, and you invest in these companies. The companies, invest in the companies that and your money will grow. You Oh man, I can go on and on about the money and the mindset, but you need to believe one thing. Believe this, that McDonald's does not want to fail. Believe that. So if you invest money into them, you buy shares in their corporation, which makes you part owner. So that's the definition of a share or a stock, which is kind of like the same thing. I'm not going to go into that right now, but that means you're a part owner of McDonald's. That doesn't mean that you just, your money sitting in a checking account or some sort of nonsense like that. You are part owner of McDonald's. They will start sending you shareholder information, and you will be involved in what happens in their operations, which gives you power. Some people, oh man, I'm gonna do a video on how to truly build credit, and I'll talk to you about how you use stock to build credit. But for now, investing in stocks should be on your priority list if it isn't already. But that is one of the things I do. I check my stocks and see how they're doing. So just a quick rundown before I go. I say my affirmations. I shower thoroughly. I cycle or work out, whatever can get me sweating. I floss. I read a chapter and I summarize that chapter. I listen to an audio on a topic that I want to be an expert on. There's usually money, investment, the economy in another country. I email successful people and offer a free lunch, right? And last thing I do is I check my stocks. It would be great if you shared with me what you do on a day-to-day basis, and let's compare notes. All right, I'm Kel. Thanks.